It says live. I'm AWOL Aaron. I'm doing a podcast called AWOL Aaron Presents. Today we are presenting Jerico Woggon, the artist, and a concept we're working on together. We call it Summerland Book. Now, Jerico, can you explain to me what is Summerland Book?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Jerico Woggon. Summerland Book is basically just like Facebook, except it is a private group that Aaron and I have started to invite our classmates, first and foremost, and very close family to that private group. It's something that we conceived of in the sense because Aaron and I have been separated for about 40 years. Last time we saw each other was sixth grade, and Aaron's family moved away after sixth grade, and I stayed on board in Summerland, California, so to speak. So now we've just refound each other. So now we're connecting, of course, online on Facebook. So we decided to do a little private group on Facebook called Summerland Book. And the idea is it's a creative place for Summerland kids. Now we're growing up, et cetera, but it's a good place for us to come and play with each other, essentially, as adults, sharing poetry, sharing photos, sharing memes, sharing whatever you feel is appropriate for like that classroom fun setting. The goal is to have fun with it and learn about our friends who we haven't seen forever. So that's that.
Ah, man, that's awesome. Now, in my mind, Summerland Book was a secondary idea. I noticed you got a really cool picture in the background, and you were telling me how you were kind of archiving your family's cartoon strip, and I said, "Oh, let's make an idea. Let's make an excuse to hang out. Let's make a comic strip." And we started talking. We actually did end up with 5 squares for what we decided to call the Summerland Kids comic strip. And these are I think some of the ideas that may come out of Summerland Book, because Summerland, California is such an amazing town with such mystical, magical moments, memories, and I think there's a deeper significance in the idea of a Summerland, or in a spiritual sense, the Summerland. Maybe we'll go keep going bigger, but I do want to hear about your grandpa and maybe some more stuff about Summerland Books, the Summerland Kids. I know we're trying to keep it 5 minutes, so just to let you know, we're at 2 minutes 50 seconds.
Exactly. So this is my grandfather, Bill Woggon. His brother was a little older, Elmer Woggon. Elmer inspired Bill Woggon, right behind me, to become a cartoonist because his brother was already a cartoonist at probably a young age of, I'm guessing, 18. My grandfather started at age 16 as a cartoonist working for a local department store in Toledo, Ohio. So he then eventually got to work for Archie Comics and created Katie Keene Comics. And so not too long ago, a cousin called me up and said, "Jerico, we're going through Auntie's collection and there's these films." And I'm like, "Hey, I'll be right down." I was an hour away. I went down there and proceeded to help them get everything organized. In doing so, I separated Grandpa and all the cartoon stuff into boxes, got other family members sorted out into boxes. So now I've got the office since August. I've been on this project since about 2018. Grandpa got the Will Eisner Award in 2015. So it's very important to get old historical artifacts, so to speak, to museums eventually. That's my goal. And in doing so, Aaron and I reconnected, and we discussed the idea of the Summerland Kids as a comic strip. So we did create 5 squares, and I started the story out in the great beyond prior to our birth. So we're starting the story prior to us being born, and leading into that, and thinking of the idea, putting yourself mentally back in the classroom with your childhood friends again, and that's the idea behind Summerland Book.
Awesome. I appreciate your time, Jerico. We're at 4:30. I don't know if we want to go 5-10 minutes. We can decide on the fly. But at this point, I do want to add in a selfless promotion.
Absolutely.
As far as AWOL Aaron Presents. And if anybody does watch it, I do have some friends that are lined up for interviews. So get in contact with me. If this video is clear, then I know I have the technology to make it happen. I also wanted to helplessly promote the two people that have agreed to do an interview. Doc Fantastic, man, if you're up next, I think I got it lined up. He does a Be Kind movement. It's an international movement about being kind and being fantastic and saving the world. He's an awesome dude. He's a captain of a ship, or was. He's an international traveler. Some people say I'm the second most interesting man in the world. Some of the comedians, we were working out some bits. But he met the guy that plays the most interesting man in the world on TV. He introduced me to some superstars, introduced me to millionaires, billionaires, and social elites of all shapes and sizes. But that's a whole nother story. I'm looking forward to the interview. And then Jeremy Lastman of the Passion Company has installed in my mind what he calls imagination technology. We have a little project that may or may not revamp called Empower the Imagination, that we use the empower the child mind, which is one of my philosophies, is the power of productive play with his imagination technology, to similar to what we did with the comic strip, is just join for fun. It's my business philosophy. I only work with people I like, and it can't be work if I'm enjoying my day. I call it play. We get stuff done, productive play. So we are running a little bit over 5 minutes or 6
Exactly.
minutes.
No, you're good, Aaron.
Jericho, I have one more question.
Yeah,
I did want to ask, and then at that point, if you want to go past 10 or 15 minutes, that's up to you. But the one question I wanted to ask is, now how, besides us meeting together, when I said, oh, Jericho, take 5 minutes, dude, and just spend and tap into that soul level passion that you're doing about your grandpa and your art, and do something simple like when we were kids and I loved your little cartoons in Summerland school, Summerland class. And I'm like, man, I want to relive that moment. And you made the comic. I drew the mustache. I drew the beard. You gave me a beard, but I drew you a mustache, and
yeah.
I drew you a halo, and I called you a surfer because that's how I remember you. Now I think you're a cowboy,
Right.
but I know you're an artist. And then I put biker because, you know, I'm an instigator. I'm always like, I gave myself horns. I like to say that I'm the breeding of a hippie mom and a biker dad. This is what you get.
That's awesome.
My name is Aaron. They call me AWOL Aaron. So Jericho, could you kind of touch on that idea of using child mind, tapping into passion? I want to kind of, do you want to meet my friend Jeremy? Do you want to meet my friend Monty, Dr. Fantastic?
Definitely.
And it just kind of helped me close out, because my methodology is, I'll ask the questions, but I'll let my guest carry my show. So thank you very much, Jericho.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love the concept of the Summerland kids. And I myself have always, when given opportunities, love to share the opportunity with others. So other cartoonists, other writers, to be able to contribute to the, comic strip, if you will. I remember most all of my fellow classmates were amazingly talented in some unique way. None of them, as far as I know yet, because we've only reached a few people from our class thus far. So it's, in terms of careers, honestly, I don't know a ton about our classmates' careers. But that being said, it doesn't matter what you ended up doing. If you can still grab a pencil or a pen and draw a funny sketch that really means something to you in terms of like the history, the class, making people laugh, that's what it's all about. Some people have incredible talent where they can pick up a pen or a paintbrush and actually render a perfect face, like Grandpa behind me, an artist did that of my grandfather. So I have a unique skill set of which I developed and kind of knew how to carry my myself as an artist. I've always considered myself an artist, so I never was shy about that. I did some college and produced a ton of events, moved to Los Angeles at age 34. We'll get into more of that later. This is primarily a little introduction of Aaron and I reconnecting with each other. Aaron's in sort of like right now the dark classroom next door, watching this film that we're watching right now, which is just us live. So that we're embracing the technology. Aaron's a step ahead of me in terms of technology, but we are together wanting to share life experience and have a good time, especially on something like Summerland Book. So
Dude, your timing is impeccable. We
Yeah,
are at the 10-minute and 5-second mark.
yeah, and
At this point, I'm enjoying the conversation. I don't want
absolutely.
to make a too long, drawn out, because
Yeah, no, I
people
think
got
we're
busy
good.
days.
We just
Um,
wanted to introduce our classmates to Summerland Book, and that's our primary goal right now. And here we go.
all right, so I'm going to sign off now. AWOL Aaron, who knows what I'll be presenting tomorrow? Who knows where me and Jericho's ideas might go, or any of my other guests? Because I always like to touch bases and stay in touch, even if it's just a random guest on the show. That way I can, check them back in a year, check them back in a few months, maybe build a deeper friendship, if you will. Because that's what we do on the Facebook group, right? We add friends and we
Absolutely.
make friends, and that's what kids do. We play. We're doing everything in our imagination. So thanks, Jericho. We're at
Thank
11
you,
minutes
Eric.
30 seconds, and if you want to say any final goodbyes.
Great to look. I look forward to seeing you all again and reconnecting online. And thank you again, Aaron, for pulling together the technology to bring us together.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
That's a
Cheers.
wrap.